she said that, interestingly, in the 60s at Berkeley, people were walking around with copies of The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged. And I said, why? That doesn't seem like... And she said, it was just cool. They were reading Ayn Rand.
Yeah, let me tell you even something. I can compete with your mother because I was born in Beersheba, which is a southern city in Israel. But then at the age of 9, we moved to a kibutz. Do you know what a kibutz is?
Well, a kibutz is the only example where communism is sort of working on the planet.
Well, it's not. Right? I'm a living proof that it's not working. And by the way,
but it's working a little bit. Liberals will argue that the kibutz works, okay?
Because they really were focused. Like, if you treat people like ants, they will produce like ants, right? And so anyway, but I completely agree with you. I will give you even something more deeper than that. When a member of the kibbutz, which is a commune, right, where I was actually not my parents' property. I was raised in a kid's house. And I got to see my parents like 4 to 8 p.m. every day. But the interesting thing is that everybody shared the property and so on. Everybody's equal. But when a mother of one of the members got sick with cancer and he went around to ask for a little bit of money from each one, nobody gave him money. Nobody. Because we're already sacrificing our lives for you. You work in the laundry room. You work in the laundry room. I'm managing the factory and we're making the same money. I'm already sacrificing for you. So it brings the worst out of people. There was like horrible relationships. People hated each other in the
Really,
kibbutz.
that's interesting. Capitalism is human nature. It's the most natural thing in the world to trade. It's like breathing. It's just natural. I mean, from the beginning of time, people have traded. They've gone to markets. People have developed specialized skills. And that's what brought us this incredible modern world. If we didn't have people specializing, we would have none of this. But to your comment about the everybody's equal in the kibbutz, well, hey, George Orwell in Animal Farm would say some animals are more equal than others, right?
That's the problem. Yeah, but I think I want to take your point even a little deeper. Yes, we are producers. We shape the world in our vision. This is the power of this machine here, the conceptual faculty we own. Right. But why are we doing this? We're doing this to advance our own life. We're born egoists. We're born selfish, and people are trying to kind of detach this from our morality, and this is why it's so destructive. In a capitalist environment, if you get to keep what you have, what you make, it drives you to do more, and it brings the best in you. So this is why I think the combination of free trade and the rule of law is what the capitalist system really offers us.
Right. And then just to wrap it up here, the only thing you have to have is just laws, right? And not all laws are just. And so
I would call it objective laws.
Right. And hopefully the people get the chance to change them when they're not just, right? Exactly. So very good. Now, you've got people out there like Elizabeth Warren and AOC saying, well, if you have over $50 million, you should have a wealth tax of 2% per year so you can have less every year.
And the question is why? Why? Where's the logic here?
Their logic would be, hey, we'll redistribute that wealth and give it to people who need it more, right? By their standards.
The only question I have for them is why? Why take my money with a gun?
Yeah, because that's what every law comes down to is a gun and a jail cell. Okay, that's what every law ends in, a gun and a jail cell.
So you don't see the contradiction? Like, you want to push the gun away so we all live freely? And you have to really understand it's all basically down to morality. Elizabeth Warren believes that the good is to give others, to sacrifice. And by the way, this is why OAC is so dangerous, because she identifies the moral foundation. When she's asked, how are you going to implement the new Green Deal? She says, I don't really care. It's the right thing to do. So she would rather see people, I'm assuming.
The means justifies the end. Here we are at Karl Marx, right? Look at every place on earth and every time on history, these ideas have failed repeatedly. And yet you still have these idiots that want to do this experiment again. They've done nothing more than oppress people. They're responsible for the deaths of over 150 million people in the last century. This is scary stuff, and people should view it that way. Give out your website and any closing thoughts you have.
Yeah, so Jason, my closing thoughts would be, it comes back to haunt us because we don't understand the moral foundation of all of this. We won't see any other results if we don't change the morality of the left to an objective morality. Yeah, I want to let people know that the Ayn Rand Institute just launched a new mobile app. It's called the Ayn Rand University. Just look for it on Android and on iOS. And we have an amazing campus that has a lot of introductory content and advanced content to learn about Rand herself and objectivism in AynRand.org.
That's great. Excellent. Tal, thanks for joining me today, and keep getting the good word out there.
Thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening. Please be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any episodes. Be sure to check out the show's specific website and our general website, hartmanmedia.com, for appropriate disclaimers and terms of service. Remember that guest opinions are their own, and if you require specific legal or tax advice or advice in any other specialized area, please consult an appropriate professional. And we also very much appreciate you reviewing the show. Please go to iTunes or Stitcher Radio or whatever platform you're using and write a review for the show. We would very much appreciate that. And be sure to make it official and subscribe so you do not miss any episodes. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.